So there's one thing I wanted to talk about today, y'all. Y'all help me out with this. Please help me out with this. So I'm noticing that I might be getting, I don't know, say 600 views, right? And 20 likes, right? Now, y'all do me a favor, man. Y'all try to hit the like button, because that really helps me with the algorithms. You know, I didn't understand that in the beginning, but I kind of do now. And if I got 1,800 subscribers and I'm getting, you know, 600 views on a video, that's great. I appreciate that. But if I get, you know, 600 likes on a 600 view video, or 500 likes, just more than 20 or 30, I mean, come on, man, help me out, man. Then let's see how that will help me. As y'all see, at least I see that the channel has kind of been stuck at 1,800 and some change, subscriber wise, for a pretty good while. And I'm not real, you know, into hit the like, hit the subscribe button and all that on every video, but I see why people do that, because when you hit the like button, it may put my videos in more people's feeds as an option to click on. So that's kind of the way I understand it, and I might not be all right, but dude, if I'm getting 500 or 600 views on a video, then I ought to be getting 300 or 400 likes at least. Y'all help me out with that, man. And I don't ask for much, you know, so I can keep putting the content out. And you know, because it takes just as long for me to do a good video as it does a bad video as it does a good video. I mean, it takes just as long, just as much effort goes into it. And if I'm going to put all this effort into the YouTube, then I would ask you guys that watch the channel to hit that button for me. You know, you ain't got to subscribe, though if you do, cool. But if you hit the like button, that'll help me get in front of more people, right? Because a lot of people, you know, see my videos and they didn't even know my videos were even on YouTube. They didn't even know, you know, about my channel or whatever. And I'm like, well, how in the hell that? You know, I've been putting videos out for 3 years. So y'all help me out, man. Come on now, help me out. It's Monday morning and it's like 40 degrees. So, you know, that's pretty cold in our neck of the woods. You know, we got extreme temperatures, you know. Last week it was in the 80s, and today it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to get above 60. So it's a little bit chilly right now. The wind chill is probably around 35 or so. And the wind is blowing. So, you know, it's, yeah. It's cold. So, today we don't have a lot going on. We just got about, probably right around $400, and that's really all we're trying to do. On this particular route. It's supposed to rain for sure tomorrow, and that's going to play into the week pretty good for us, because I had planned on only working 4 days. So of course, you know, the fifth day is always something for me to do, and I try to, you know, make sure we have enough work to where Zach can pay his bills and everything. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. On this particular route today, we could probably do more, but not a whole nother route more, if that makes sense. If it were during the summer, then I would approach this totally different. I would add, you know, 6 more properties onto the day and go on and do the whole Fayetteville run, and the jobs that we got today. But there's a few extra things that we're going to be doing on some of these jobs today that's going to make up for that money, so I don't have to go into the Fayette route today and do anything. What else we got? We got the two bigger ones in the bigger neighborhood to do as well. Those two over there by themselves, $300. So they're $150 each. And one of them is going to be even wanting a little bit extra stuff. So we might end up getting $3 1/4 out of those two. Plus 80 out of the one Zach's doing. And then I got a small one I'm going to do on the way to those two big ones, and that's a 60. And then we got another 100 to do after all of it's done. So we should be able to do about $400, $430, something like that. But the biggest thing I'm seeing is this week's going to be a pretty good week, considering, you know, it got cold. A lot of the leaves are falling off. We got some rain, and even if the yards don't need cutting, the leaves and all are gonna, you know, generate some work for us. And I don't really do cleanups. I mean, I don't want to say I don't do cleanups, because I do, but people don't normally call me for cleanups, one-time deals and stuff. Well, over the years, I haven't had time. So this year, I was suspecting the same thing. I just wouldn't have time, and nobody's really been calling me, because in my general area where I live at, you know, a lot of people know a lot of people, and everybody knows almost everybody. So once they call me one season and I don't do it, then the likelihood of them calling me in the next year to do something that I turned them down on the year before is slim. So, and that's okay, you know, that's just how things have rolled over the years. I think the biggest reason why I haven't really done cleanups mostly is because I don't have time. I not usually have time. Now this year I happen to have more time than usual, because, well, yeah, like I told y'all the other day, you know, we're not doing nearly as good right now as we usually do, and I'm probably about $7,500 in profit that I'm not going to get this year, that I got last year and the year before that and the year before that. So yeah, last year I spent some money on some stuff, paid some stuff off and everything, and I still made really good money. This year I ain't spent the money on nothing. Well, I guess I have though, really, but you got, you know, almost $9,000 in concrete, and then you got another $13,000 in the down payment on the building. So, you know, that's 21 grand right there that I put out that is not gonna, it's not gonna generate money. Usually when I'm putting out that kind of money, it's a piece of equipment or something that is going to get me a return pretty quick. You know, doing the building is like, I don't know, is like, you know, building a swimming pool or something, you know, where there's not really you're not really making more money. You might make things a little more organized, but you're not making more money in the right now. And I know if I sell my house, the house will be worth more money because of the shop. But, you know, that is, you know, that don't even matter right now. And I'm in with the shop, like I said. So yeah. And like I've been talking about, you know, I haven't been making as much money as usual, and though I'm not gonna miss a meal, and I'm not gonna go bankrupt or anything like that, I just am not making as much money as I did last year. but I'm spending the same, or about, you know. Usually every year I buy a piece of equipment or something this time of year, and I didn't last year, but this year, my thinking last year was, okay, I want to put a building up here, and then I started digging into what it would take to do a building, and the whole summer I have been, you know, formulating a plan for a building. And there's a few things that's probably going to happen that I haven't really, that's going to generate some money. I'm probably going to end up selling the shipping container just because of sheer space. Because once that building is up there, and if y'all picture it, there's not going to be a place to park nothing outside. I mean, you know, and the building is going to be plenty big enough to put all my stuff in. Plenty big enough. And then I can do some modifications on the inside, shelving wise, and, you know, that kind of thing. You know, so yeah, that's kind of my thinking. I haven't tried to sell the shipping container. I haven't, you know, put it out there yet, but I got a bunch of stuff in it, and I don't want to do anything with it until the building's up. And that might be a good thing, and that might be a bad thing. If I wait till the building is up, then it's going to be real tight pulling the shipping container out, but it can be done. And the shipping container, you're talking about $4,000 minimum. I mean, I wouldn't take less than $4,000 for it. And see, what that'll do is that'll make up for some of the money that I did not make from September the 1st to November the 1st. From September the 1st this year to November the 1st this year was probably the worst 2-month span that I've had in 10 years. I can't think of a time that it was worse. Man, I didn't even have nothing go down on me or nothing. So yeah, just think of something that broke, you know. So I'm having to reassess a lot of things right now, and a lot of guys are asking me about the skid steer. Well, they haven't called me about one being available. Takahauchi's got a plant right here in Georgia. So I think in Pendergrass, Georgia, which is, you know, 80 miles from here or something like that. I know where Pendergrass is. I've been there before. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I'm not pushing to get it now. I'm just not. I just got a weary feeling about it. You know, I do. If one becomes available and the price is what the quote is, then I'll do it, you know. But I'm not gonna be proactive in it. They're gonna have to call me. So, you know, that's just where I'm at based on the numbers. So if I hadn't have done the building, I probably would for sure go on and get the skid steer. But if I hadn't have done the building, I probably still would be weary of getting a skid steer based on the workflow right now. And I got an ad up and everything, and I'm not getting any calls. So, you know, the skid steer may have to wait. And that's just, you know, that's just business, man. I don't get shiny ball syndrome real easy. Though my dream skid steer is like the one I showed y'all at the GIE. That's the one that I got on order, just like it. It's the same exact one. And the price they quoted me was right around $70,000. And I got the quote, and they told me the quote would be good. So yeah, but we're in unprecedented economic times, and people just ain't spending. So any more big purchases and stuff like that, probably not going to do a lot more big purchases. And the only thing that I maybe will get, if it, you know, if everything lines up right and I get the call, is a skid steer. No mowers this year, no nothing. And like I said, I'm weary about the skid steer. So yeah. So a couple other things going on is I'm going to be incorporating the Jobber software into my business. I talked with Jobber, what was it? Well, last week. I spent about an hour on the phone with him. We did a Zoom call. And some of the stuff their software can do is really going to help me. And I told him I would give it a shot for a year, because the software I got now, their support is doo-doo. And it does cost a little bit more, but nothing major, you know. I think the biggest thing with the software that I got now is they want me to pay for a backup of my customer base and everything. And see, I don't know, man. I feel a certain type of way about that, man, considering I'm paying a subscription for the software. And I think I'm paying about $40 a month, which is, you know, nothing really. But they try and Ray, y'all. And I don't like that shit, man. I don't like it when they're gonna try to charge me for software backup where all the information is mine. They're pretty much hijacking the customer base and telling me I can't get a backup of my own customer base. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it now. I don't know how they see it, but that's how I see it. Jobber is going to give me a new way to do things, and I can kind of learn. And all the software to me is pretty similar. I mean, you know, it's not a complicated software no matter how you do it. The learning curve is a lot on some, more than others, but usually the learning curve is, well, I've already grasped that part of it and the basic stuff. So the biggest thing has always been moving everything over to the new software. And the software I'm in now, they make it hard to do that without paying them. But, you know, yeah. But I like the support that Jobber is going to give me. So I told the girl at Jobber, you know, and I've been looking at it for a few months now. I told the girl at Jobber that I would try it for a year. So what they're going to do is, she said they got some big sales, you know, on Black Friday. So I might be able to get, you know, get it damn near half price, which is going to be right along what I'm paying now. And if it goes down half price, then I'll pay for a whole year up front. Be done with that. And then that'll be, then I'm trying it for a year. There's one customer over here that we're going to do today that I'm going to have a slight problem with him, because, well, I've been trying to damn, you know, I don't know, keep my thinking right over there, but it's hard because, well, he keeps putting me off, and he's gonna mess around, and I'm not even gonna want to do the property anymore. You know, I called him. I was supposed to go last week. I went over there. I mean, I didn't go over there. I texted him, called him the night before, and he says, well, Ray, it really doesn't need it. And then I went by there this is right on the way to see my mom. I went by there on Saturday, just rode by because it's in the same neighborhood that my mom's in. And I'm like, there's leaves everywhere. What he's trying to do is he's trying to wait until all the leaves fall. And what I'm trying to do is not let all the leaves fall. So I called him last night, and he tried to tell me again, oh, it doesn't really need it. You know, there's a few leaves down, but it doesn't really need it. But I had just rode by there the day before. And so I said, well, if I can't come today, then I don't want to do the property anymore. Because I said, because Henry, I rode by there yesterday, and the leaves are, there's a whole heap of leaves. He wanted me to wait another week, and I told him I wasn't going to do that. I said, yeah, I said, you can, I mean, you ain't got to have me do it either. You can hire somebody else. But see, I'm going to remember all this when it comes summertime. Watch. I'm going to remember it. They all try the same old crap. It's lame as hell too, you know. And they try to say, well, the grass ain't really growing. Well, I'm not concerned about the grass growing. I'm more worried about the little bit of leaves. And I'm having a bigger problem with that this year as far as the customers and, you know, the timing and all. Usually things fall a lot more consistently friendly for me, you know, the time-wise and all. But it's not this year because we had such a drought in September and October. And they always say, well, the grass ain't really growing. Look, I know the grass ain't growing. I mean, I cut grass for a living. I know the grass ain't growing. I ain't trying to cut the grass. I'm trying to make sure you don't get so many leaves on the ground that you're going to drag me. I don't want to be there any longer than it takes me to cut the grass for the same money. And that's the bad thing about not just going in and doing a cleanup. What maybe I'll try next year is, say for him, for instance, is I'll say, okay, I don't want to come all through September. I don't want to come all through October. And then the first week in November, $200 to do the yard. That's where I'm at. Because that's basically the money that I'm not getting from customers like him. It's irritating as hell, man, to be honest. And then put that on top of the drought and workflow and everything, and it's very irritating. You know? Okay, y'all. So that's one big one. So we've done 3. It's 11 o'clock. We ain't really making real good time. We should have been able to do that one in an hour, easy. And there's one that we didn't do, like I said. So that's $120 that we're not going to get. No, that's $100 that we're not going to get. So now we're going to this little bitty one, and I just penciled it in today. Y'all are seeing something I haven't experienced in the whole time I've been in business, where the workflow is just about nothing. I need more customers. That's what I need. And you know, I may have to approach things a little bit different next year, and I may have to put an ad out saying I do leaf cleanups or something, because the workflow is getting. Of course, I say that every week, and we seem to make it, but we ain't being all we can be for sure. Not even close. So all we really got is 2 more. But, you know, it's gonna be, I mean, it's 11 o'clock now. Took us way too long on that one, man. Gotta be thinking about what you're doing, man, when you in the wintertime. And I know I've said that 100,000 times. You know, you gotta be thinking about what you're doing. You know, you'll find yourself, you know, spending a lot more time on these jobs with these leaves than you would if it were just in the middle of the summer. You know, you can't get too carried away with the weed eating and, you know, all that. You got to be efficient, man. And, you know, lot of times guys come out here, they're not, they're working hard, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular. They work hard, but they're not efficient. And you know, in this time of year, you can really, I mean, it really stands out. Not only does it stand out, you know, time-wise, but it stands out from a money perspective. Because normally we would do that yard and the other yard in the same amount of time that we did that yard today. And there's no reason for that, because you look at the yard, the grass don't even need cutting. And we're spending, I mean, an hour and a half over there. And it shouldn't have took us that long. But the wind's blowing, and, you know, you still got to stay on track with everything. See, if I'd have went over there by myself, I wouldn't have weed eated. I wouldn't have weed eated. I might have weed eated a little bit in the pool area. That'd have been all I'd done. I wouldn't have weed eated the property, because I know that even though weed eating a little bit, you know, weed eating it today, it looks a little bit better, but it's not an hour better. And the thing about it is, it's going to be raining like hell. And see, when you weed eat too, you create more of a mess. And if you've already blown a little bit here and there, there's not a lot of weed eating. You shouldn't be having to weed eat these properties hardcore. Shouldn't. You know, the thinking is, this time of year, is you weed eat, you blow off a lot more, so you don't weed eat. Or if you do weed eat, it's very little. And, you know, we spent a lot of time over there weed eating, and we didn't have to do all that. Because, you know, it ain't enough to where we're over there to clean the leaves up, not to weed eat. You got to be looking at what we're over there for. We're over there to make it look neat. And all the weed eating and all the cubby holes and stuff, where the weeds are just, you know, if it's questionable weed eat, well, that'll be okay. And the next time we come to do the final leaf cleanup, we'll weed eat everything then. They're not really paying me to weed eat right now. They're paying me to get the leaves out of the yard and you know, blow everything off. Now, if the weeds were growing like they do in August and July, well, then that's different. But they're not. It's real cold. The weeds ain't growing. There's a few little weeds here and there, but it wouldn't have mattered. We could have skipped them. I'm not making any more money to weed eat. Definitely making less, because it's taking us longer, a lot longer. So, you know, I don't know what it takes for guys to get out of the summer mode. You got to get out of that summer thinking, you know. Like this next yard right here, we're not going to weed eat at all, at all. They're not paying me to weed eat. The weeds aren't growing. Blow the leaves to where I can get them with a mower, and then blow off. That's it. Next man. So, yeah. Let the weeds grow up a little bit so we can get more work. There ain't no sense in blowing the weeds up, because it's taking us way too long, man, to weed eat everything. Way too long. And I'm not trying to be out here to 2 o'clock making $300. Fuck that, man. That's what I told Zach. I said, dude, we're going to have to step it up, man. It ain't that we ain't working hard, we ain't working smart. And I said, you know. All right, y'all, so we did that one 15 minutes. But I don't know how good this video is going to be today. It is what it is. But y'all know it's Sammy Monday.